Hello and welcome. Happy Monday. I am super excited to be here with you this evening. I'm going to start off just by checking in to make sure that I am streaming where I need to be streaming and hoping that internet stays and cooperates this evening. So if you happen to be popping in already and I have not checked to make sure I'm streaming where I need to be streaming, just give me a moment and then you'll have my undivided attention. If in case you're not sure what you're watching, if you happen to be here, I am Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness NY, and I do serve and help women over 40 to get them strong and reminding them that weight's are their friend. I'm a holistic integrative teacher, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, and card reader. And there's so much more to my bio, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And like I said, I'm going to ask that you do me a favor. If you're already watching here with me, please take a moment just to share this page out. This way here, more and more people can become a part of this journey that we're on and learning something. After all, I come and share wisdom and insight to keep you in the know, helping you to better understand what's going on energetically, whether it's based on numerology or astrology or a combination of both. And in addition to all of that, if you have not already heard this from me, I also help women revolutionize their health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescription plan. And I'm going to speak on that a little bit in reference to what that actually means to give you a better understanding to what that really means. So I'm going to just pause this for just a moment to make sure I'm streaming where I need to be streaming. And for whatever the reasons are, I'm not sure to why, my page doesn't stream to X lately, but that's okay. No worries there. Gotta hop in and make sure I'm streaming on YouTube because that's really, really important. And if you are watching from YouTube, please say hi. Let me know that you are there. And whoops, just turn this down. Always make that mistake that when I go to YouTube, I forget to turn it down. So if you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, share it out, and of course I'll check in randomly to see if there's any comments coming through YouTube, and I'll of course come back and respond to them. I will be landing on my usual page, which is Facebook, so if you are here on Facebook, please go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you are here as I'm going to stream. So give me one moment to get there. There's always so much technical stuff to take care of on this end of the world. So I am here on Facebook. I see that I am here, and I'm going to go and share this out on my groups. So just give me a moment just to do just that because there's just so much to go on with. So bear with me just a second. There we go. Like I said, if you are here with me, let me know that you are here. Say hello. Looking for. All right. Give me a moment or two. And I'm going to tag some folks, see who's around tonight. I also like to have an audience come and join me. So if you are around and not busy doing something else, I always love your presence here with me. So I'm just tagging some of you. So just hang in there with me. Whole list of people I want to bring on in. And I also want to go and just check out something just for a moment, so bear with me again. And I'm going to get this conversation going. All right. Going back to my page. All right. So here I am. Hello there, Rebecca. I see you here. I see you with me. And I will be glancing down because unfortunately I am charging my phone at the time, so I can't have it upright. So anyway, here we are. Hello, and welcome to all of you. It is Monday night, and if you're not aware of this, Monday overall is ruled by the moon's energy. And that's tonight's topic. Tonight is all about this amazing super blue moon full moon in Aquarius energy. Now, if you know anything about moons in general, the moon is about our feelings, it's about how we show up, it's about our creative expression. And when the moon, or shall I say this way, the moon rotates every 2.5 days into a different zodiac sign, which means in the course of a week, we can really go from, let's say, as the moon right now is in air, we'll go into water, then we'll go into fire, and then into earth. So that can all happen literally within like a 7-day period where we literally move into 3 to 4 different elements, which can very well be one of the many reasons to why so many of us have what's called mood swings because of the energy of the moon. That's partially some of the reasons to why we go through these ups and downs. At least that's what I always like to consider it too. And understanding where your moon is going to help you better understand too the energy of the current moon. So for example, the moon we currently have right now, and I actually think the moon has already shifted into Pisces. However, we are definitely still feeling the super blue moon in Aquarian energy, and that's tonight's focus. So when you think about that Aquarian moon, it's about your vision that you hold for yourself. It's about the vision that you came here to fulfill as an obligation to your soul's contract. And it's about the collaborations that you are moving into, collaborating with people that support you on this journey, coming to network, coming to market, coming to brainstorm, coming to share ideas with each other. And you really want to be in a circle of people that support you so you can go back and forth and exchanging really great information with each other as opposed to becoming more like a debate. And that's how you know when you are in a really good collaborating space, because you can exchange and bounce off information with each other. So with this amazing moon that we do have, I decided I wanted to come and share some information about this moon and what it is you may be feeling about this moon's energy, and just being in a space to understanding this process that you're in. So again, the moon in Aquarius is about your vision that you hold, based on what it is you're looking to build in this lifetime. And the vision, the inventions, the innovator that you are, and as many astrologers, including myself, are really talking about the energy of this moon because it is so powerful. It's a super moon, which means the energy of it being that it's a super moon, it's almost like being on steroids. So it's so powerful as opposed to our everyday moon. This is an extremely powerful moon because it will help us to activate and release what no longer serves our actual purpose. And just a little history about Aquarius, if you're not familiar. We talk about the planet that rules Aquarius, but actually speaking of 2 specific planets. We're speaking of Saturn, which is the primary. In the old history of astrology, Saturn was the ruler to Aquarius. Now, before I dive into that, I just want to check into something. So just give me 1 second, and I'm going to come right back to you. So pause if you want to get some water. And then we're going to dive again into this conversation because, again, as usual, I like to keep you informed, understanding, paying attention to this amazing energy. And being in this amazing energy. So again, when we talk about this energy that we are in right now and the ruling, again, some history behind all of this is understanding that Aquarius is ruled by 2 zodiac signs, 2 planets. Saturn, which is your structure and your discipline. It's also the karmic energy that we are contract by, our karmic contracts. And I'm going to talk a lot more on that shortly. Hello there, Anne. How are you, my love? Let's see if I can unplug this and set this up because it's easier to see the comments than to try to read down. So when we think about the karmic energy that we're contract to, keep in mind, and I may say this a few times throughout this live, is that This energy that we're in about our karmic reset and karmic cycle, this is not about what goes around comes around energy. This is really more about your karmic contracts that you have with different people that's in your lives. Yeah, I'm sure you're all familiar with the expression, people come in and out of your lives for season, reason, or a lifetime. Those are karmic contracts. So if you can become more astute in learning the reasons why somebody shows up in your life and honoring and respecting that time when you have them in your life, and then you'll also be able to get to that place of understanding why they fade away. And just for an example, so those of you who are with me right now, such as Anne, um, I'm one of those people for Anne who's watching with me, and she's very diligent on coming to many of my lives. I'm obviously in her life as a teacher, teaching her and helping her to better understand who she is from a soul level. Just like I may be your teacher to all of you who are here as well, helping you to really understand yourself as from a soul's level, not from a 3D human level. Because that can get really confusing because, again, we are spiritual beings having human experiences, and a lot of human experiences in our daily life helping us to move through this karmic cycle so we can evolve and travel back home. So when we think about that Saturn energy, as again is about your structure and your discipline, keep in mind that Saturn is currently retrograde in Pisces. Pisces happens to be the last zodiac sign of all 12 zodiacs, and that means that Saturn being in Pisces, it literally is the process of letting something go and bringing things more into flow. And that's what Pisces is about bringing things more into flow with this energy that we have going on with this full moon in Aquarius. And then very shortly, if it's not already, and one just check the time, just to double check where we are, as the moon will enter into Pisces. It's actually there now. It's about exactly 6:52 p.m. Eastern Time. So the moon is currently in Pisces, yet we are still feeling the effects of the super blue Aquarian full moon because of the energy that it's going to have as the impact going forward. In addition to Saturn being one of the planets that's the ruler to Aquarius in the old history of astrology, we also have Uranus as the ruling planet. Now, by now, most of you who've been watching me for a while know that Uranus is about the chaos. It's about the unpredictability. It's about the rebel that you are so you can break the rules. It's also about the mini midlife crises that every one of us are experiences in our life. Now, I like to say that we talk about Uranus and the chaos that shows up. That chaos is showing up to put you on like a slippery slope so you don't get stuck. And it's almost like the universe nudging you to start to move forward because there's something not aligned with your energy right now. And it's perfectly aligned with this full moon, helping us to move things out of the way so we can make space for what is actually meant to come in. So keeping that in mind, and Uranus is not in retrograde just yet. Uranus is transiting in Taurus energy, and Taurus is an earth sign. So it's about your relationships. It's about your physical body, because Taurus is the physical body. Taurus is the relationship you have with other people, your physical material possessions, and your physical body. So the contract that you have with your physical body and what shows up in your physical body, with your physical body. Let's talk a little bit about the contract we may have with body weight, where we may go through cycles. Now, I speak on this topic a lot in regards to the body weight that we hold. We may call it obesity, we may call it overweight, we may call it fat, whatever term you want to define it as, is understanding that metaphysically, the meaning to being overweight or being obese just means that you have psychologically built a wall around you to protect you from something or someone. And it's a psychological wall, and because it's a psychological wall, it then is connected to emotions. And those emotions are really attached more to your childhood wounds, which again, the karmic cycle that you have with your childhood wounds. and how they are showing up in your daily experiences as we speak. So therefore, when you are really ready to work on releasing any of those traumas that you've experienced, that you called in, and I use that word, and I know sometimes that can be a little triggering, but understanding that you have this contract to the body weight, and you have a contract for a specific agreement, whether that is to protect you from something or someone, and that's why the weight's there. And as you work on releasing those emotions that's attached to that trauma, and you move into a space of forgiveness, and if you caught my live last night that I did with my good friend Kitty, we spoke about forgiveness because it was one of the cards that showed up in the reading, that forgiveness is the highest level of healing. And when you can move into that energy, it then allows you to start working on releasing the emotional connection to the psychological weight that was called in. And that's when you start to see the weight on the scale start to come off. Now, I speak a lot about not focusing so much about losing weight. Excuse me. It's more about releasing what the weight is attached to. I just want to grab a little water. And if we can understand the concept of the contract, the karmic contract that we have with the weight, and we can work on that highest level of healing, which is forgiveness, then eventually, without any effort other than working on the emotional trauma, eventually you will start to notice your body changing. Excuse me. That your body's changing, and before you know it, your cycle with the agreement that you made with the weight will eventually be cleared. I'm just going to give you a minute to take that in, because I know that could be challenging to understand, especially when we live in a society excuse me, that we have been programmed to believe different habits and different philosophy behind our body weight, behind nutrition, behind dieting, behind calorie deficit. And all of this is energies that, again, it's about releasing that karmic cycle that's associated with the belief system. And when we think of it in that aspect, it again comes back into the contract that you have with that physical weight. Now, some of you may have contracts with physical weight based on more of a season, as opposed to carrying that weight with you for a few years. And what do I mean by that? A season where you carry excess weight. For example, when we speak of Jupiter's energy, and even Venus energy for that matter, Jupiter is a planet of expansion. And Jupiter doesn't just expand your luck and your wealth and your spiritual evolution. Jupiter also expands the waistline for those who carry the energy where Jupiter is sitting. So if you happen to have Jupiter in your sun, moon, or ascending sign, and more specifically in your ascending and moon sign is where it's more prevalent. So you may notice that during the season where Jupiter is in Gemini until 2025, that you have put on a few extra pounds and your waistline might be a little bigger than usual. And that's because it's a season. Now that weight shows up because it may require you to slow down. It may require you to be more grounded. It may require you to be more patient. There's a reason why you contracted this weight during the season, whatever's going on in your life at this time, whatever chaos is going on in your life at this time. Now, do note that again, as Jupiter transits out of Gemini and then moves its way into Cancer, those who do have Gemini in their 3 major signs will start to notice a release in their weight due to the contract. And then, of course, this will be a ripple effect for Cancers at that point in time. And that will be a whole different conversation. So again, the contract that you have relating to your physical weight is is more about, and I know I just froze, so I'm going to repeat what I just said. The contract that you have relating to your physical weight is more about the journey you're on and the season you're in. It's not about the process of that, whatever the weight is that you're carrying. It's not about dieting. It's not about even exercising. When I speak on strength training with progressive overload, it has absolutely nothing to do with losing weight. In fact, those of you who follow me regularly, you hear me speaking on the fact that I do not want you to lose weight. I want you to recompose your body weight, and I want you to reshape the weight. So whatever the weight is that you come to me at, so if you're 150 pounds, I want you to be 150 pounds because I want you to maintain that weight so you can transfer that weight from being less fat and more muscle mass, which will then help you to improve your bone density. So it's not about weight loss. So if you ever hear me speak, when I speak about strength training progressive overload, this is not about doing participating in strength training for a weight loss purpose. This is really about participating in strength training to recompose your body weight, not lose the weight. And get that understanding, because that's the process that exercise, dieting, and even walking for that matter, is not going to be the thing that's going to help you lose weight. It really is about the contract that you have with the weight and spending time on your spiritual journey and really taking a deeper dive into your soul's purpose and the soul's agreement that you have with the weight. And then assessing whether or not you're really ready to release that weight. What has that weight helped you with in regards to protection? And and are you ready to really move into that space of forgiveness? So when we talk about the karmic contracts, that's the exact example that I wanted to share with you, is understanding that the karmic contract is the contracts you have with, like I said, your body weight, or the contract you have with money, where you may be you may have what's called a money challenge, where you're constantly thinking you don't have enough money, or you don't feel like you deserve to have money, or you don't feel validated enough to make or ask for more money, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So these are the contracts that we have to work through so we can release them, so then we can actually move into our soul's purpose. After all, I truly believe that every one of us on earth was created by God, our higher power, whomever you want to refer to, and that every one of us has a purpose. And our purpose is to live in prosperity, not poverty. And that if there is a poverty wound, that wound needs to be healed so that you can live in prosperity. So again, going back to our contracts, our agreement, our karmic contracts with this full moon, super full moon, blue moon, a once in a lifetime energy that we're experiencing, in this magnificent energy. When you take a look at the energy of the date, if you write the date out, 8/19/2024, it adds up to an 8 energy. The power of the 8. 8 is all about your achievements, your success, your accomplishments, your recognition, being recognized for what it is you do. Now, also going back into the concept of weight, when we talk about weight, when we think about being recognized, sometimes a part of that contract in reference to someone being with extra weight is one or two things. It's they need to take up more space so they can be seen. Sometimes that's the reason why they call in weight, or that weight is there so they are not seen. So again, it really comes back into the value, the validation, the recognition. And when we work through these contracts to understand what it's there for, we can then move into more of a harmonic energy, more balance, more stability, more transformation. And when we think about that number 8, turn it on its side, and it's an affinity sign of pure balance in our lives. I also want to turn that energy of 8. I want to turn over the energy again as we talk on Aquarius energy. We've spoken about the Pisces energy where we have Saturn in retrograde in Pisces, and then we have Uranus that's not retrograde yet in Taurus. I also want to bring to your attention when we talk about the 8 energy, the 8th house energy. Something to look at on your natal chart to really get an understanding your 8th house energy, what is there in your 8th house energy. Because whatever planets and whatever sign is associated with your 8th house energy, during this full moon, supermoon, blue moon energy is amplifying whatever energy is there. Now for me, and if you are with me and you happen to have your natal chart in front of you and you want to put in the comments what's in your 8th house energy, I would be more than happy to give you some insight to what that actually means. So for me, my 8th house, I have just one planet there. And of course, interesting enough, the sign that's there is Aquarius. So this is a big energy for me because my zodiac sign that's on my chart is Aquarius, which is actually the energy of this full moon. So there is definitely a conjunction going on for me between Mercury on my chart in Aquarius and the moon in Aquarius. And I happen to have on my chart Mercury, as I just said, in Aquarius, which is at about gotta put my glasses on, print is so darn small, at a 28 degree. Now let me talk to you about degrees for just a second because this full moon that we are in right now is at 27 degrees. Now, if you caught my live from last night, I spoke to you about the energy of the 2 and the 7. You could always go back and watch my live from last night to get more information about that energy, so I'm not repetitious here. So when we talk about degrees, anything from 25 to about 29 degrees is what's known as a reset. There's an ending happening so things can reset itself. So on my chart, in my 8th house, I have Mercury in Aquarius at 28 degrees. So there's obviously something for me that is obviously being a reset. Now, Mercury is about the experience. It's how I experience what's going on. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So what is going to be reset for me based on how I connect, how I teach, how I speak, how I listen, will definitely be something that's going to be highlighted based on my 8th house energy. So the same thing for you is to look at your chart and see what's in your 8th house energy so you can get a better understanding to this full moon's energy that we have going on right now. Now, in addition to the 8th house energy and all this 8, and before I move on, I just want to read some of the comments, see what's going on here. So Anne is saying that I'm a great teacher. Thank you. She's also saying that love seeing you and Kitty last night. Thank you. I'm glad you understood about the forgiveness. You mentioned something a little while ago about something I thought I missed. I guess I didn't. Okay. Crystal, I see that you're here. I'm not sure if you're 100% here or if you just glanced through, but if you are here, hello. So again, when we talk about this 8th house energy, and we talk about this overall energy itself, we're going to talk about also the energy of the year. Like when we talk about the universal energy based on numerology, if you take the number 2024, the year 2024, and you add that, you get an 8 energy. That's the energy for the entire year. So every one of us, consciously and unconsciously, are obviously in the space of experiencing some sort of karmic reset to our accomplishments, to our success, to our fame, to our recognition, to our praise. That's all that energy that we have going on this year. It's an extremely powerful energy for this year. And because of all the different planets that we have in retrograde at this time, these retrogrades are also helping us to go through a reset to better understand this process that we do have. Now, I do want to bring to your attention this energy that we have, and I think I might have mentioned this last time in my live. If you actually look at your calendar, or just like right after dates going forward, and see what next number, next year's, adds up to an 8 energy. So because we're in the 8 now, if you were to calculate what the next time will be another 8-year energy, we will have similar energy to this experience, minusing the fact that where the planets will be at that time. So the last time we had energy similar to this was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, we had energy similar to this. And if you think back to 13 years ago, what was going on in your life 13 years ago? So really think about it. I have to actually use a calculator to determine, and let me just take a peek. Let me take a peek. So we're in 2024 minus 13 years ago. So that's going to put us at 2011. What was going on in your life at 2011? Because that's the last time we experienced this type of energy. And interesting enough, 2011, I had 2 family members cross over. My grandmother crossed over on February 3rd, 2011. And a little less than a month after that, my mother crossed over on March 12th, 2011. So there was a transition. And during that time in 2011, also, what also happened for me was, and I don't know the exact month and date, but I also expanded my business for the second time in 2011. So it's really important to go back and see if you can write out the timeline and what was going on in your life at those times, because this will give you, and that will give you an explanation to what you may actually start to experience with this super blue full moon in Aquarius energy. Now, another remarkable energy about this moon is because we do have Pluto in Aquarius at this moment in a retrograde. Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's about depths. It's about endings. It's about letting things go. And it really is about destroying what no longer serves. Anything that is outdated, like if you go to the supermarket and you look at the expiration date on any of the items and you notice that the expiration date, let's say you pick up something and you notice that that item is like a week old, you probably are not going to pick up that item and take it home with you because it's theoretically expired. And it's the same thing when we talk about Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto will go ahead and destroy what no longer serves our energy. And again, looking at your placements for Pluto and Aquarius on your chart, because that's going to be a big player too. And we think about Pluto is associated with that 8th house energy because Pluto rules Scorpio. Now I'm going to just give you a minute to take that in so you can really understand that concept and why this energy is so powerful. Yeah, so Anne says that she was actually just thinking about 13 years ago, and she knew exactly what was going on or where she was 13 years ago, and that the energy does feel very similar. So yes. So when we sit here and evaluate what was going on in our lives at that time and what's going on in our life now, we can have a really good understanding to the karmic reset, the karmic completion, what ending, what new beginning is about to take place. So now when we talk about timelines, let's talk about the Pluto energy that currently is in Aquarius and will be getting ready to backspin into Capricorn. Now, when I use the term backspin, it just means literally energy is going to move back into Capricorn. It's going to come out of the energy of Aquarius for a short period of time and then eventually move forward again. And when you think about Pluto in Capricorn, the last time Pluto spent time in Capricorn was going back to 2003 through 2023. So just think of that for a moment. 2008 rather, not 2003. 2008 through 2023. That's an 18-year period. I just want to make sure I have that timeline right before we go into a discussion. Actually, it is 2003. because it's an 18-year period, not a 15. So going back to 2003, or you can even go back to 2008, whatever the case is. I'm just going to check something out again for you. Oops. Where did I go? I lost me. Anne says, strange that I brought that up. Is it really strange that I brought that up? I don't think so. I don't think so. So let me just look at something. And then I'm going to come right back. All right, give me a sec. All right, so we're literally looking at 2008 through 2023. So the last 15 years. So when we think about Pluto zipping back, and I use the word zipping, zipping back into Capricorn, that's going to have us going down the memory lane from 2008 through 2023. What was going on in your life at that point in time? Because again, this energy that we're in right now is going to be a mirror of that energy we're moving into when Pluto backspins into Capricorn for a short period of time. Pluto will actually be in Capricorn as of September 1st. I want to see if I can explain this the way I wrote it so it makes sense. Pluto will move back into Capricorn on September 1st until October 11th. And then and then move into Aquarius by November 19th. So theoretically, from September to October 11th, it will be in retrograde. And then by October 11th through November 19th, it will be forward in Capricorn still until it moves into Aquarius. So during that period of time is when we're going to have opportunities again to reflect on the energy of 2008 through 2023. What was actually really going on in your life at that time? And what karmic cycles or karmic contracts are you ready to clear? Now, another thing I want to bring up in this conversation when we talk about karmic contracts and karmic resetting and this 8 energy, let's talk a little bit about the soul star, which is the 8th chakra, sits above the crown, that gives you access to your Akasha records. If you're not familiar with Akasha records, in a brief summary, Akasha records is basically a huge book that gives you all the events that has happened in your life from past life to this lifetime, moving into the future. And there's everything in there to help you better understand who you are on a soul level. And you can literally activate your Akasha records and go and clear energies, karmic completions, through working through your Akasha records. Now, there are practitioners that actually help you to do this, to move through that energy. And a perfect time to work through your Akasha records and clearing energy is actually during a crescent moon. Now, right now we're in a full moon, so this would not be the right time, a perfect time, to really work through your Akasha record energy. However, the next crescent moon, and the crescent moon just means it's that little small half, less than half a moon. So if you're interested, if there is any specific karmic contracts you want to work on clearing out, and you want to work with this with a practitioner, I would highly recommend that you do this during a crescent moon energy, so you can really be in that space to allowing yourself to heal what needs to be healed in this process. And the energy that we have going on right now, with again this Aquarius moon, and with Pluto in Aquarius, this conjunction between the two working together, or even the square between the two working together. And I say that really funnily, is that such a word? That's not a word. The conjunction between the two is that they're working together to help you transform and work on releasing whatever karmic energy that you need to release with this energy that we have going on. Everything, when we think about it at this point in time, really is about that process of the eight energy. Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, karmic reset, in a retrograde with Pisces, helping us to really work on bringing things more into flow. What doesn't serve you anymore needs to be released. If you're not willing to release it on your own, then the chaos is going to continue to show up to make you uncomfortable. The energy of this year, 2024, which is why this year is known as a karmic energy year, because of the universal energy 8. Very powerful. Another thing I want to bring to the table, if you're not aware of this, when you think of your personal energy year number, which is based on numerology, if you happen to have your personal energy year number in 8, and how will you determine that is you take the month you're born, the date you're born on, and add the current year. So, for example, for me, I'm born March 4th. So it would be 3 plus 4 plus the current year, 2024. Add those numbers together. Whatever that number is, if it happens to be a double digit, those two numbers are going to get added together and then reduced down to a single digit. In my case, I'm a 6. Now, for example, if anyone is born on today, 8/19/2024, this is an 8 energy day. So if you are born on this particular day, then you carry your personal energy year of the 8, which carries the same energy of the universal year. So that means for you, this is a very powerful year, significant year, potent year for you to really work on your karmic contracts. Things that perhaps from your childhood that you might have carried until now, that this is an opportunity for you to work on clearing it out, letting it go, getting it away. Doing the cord cutting, shall we say. Now, a cord cutting is that you're literally taking the cord that's connected between that particular experience and your energy and working on healing so you can cut the cord or whatever it is. So if there was an experience you had as a child with another person, you work on that connection with that other person to heal and forgive, and you can cut the cord of that connection. So you no longer carry that with you. So those of you who do have an 8 energy personal year, this is a potent year for you. The same goes for someone who carries an 8 life path number. Now, what's a life path number? You take your month, your date you're born, and the year you're born, and add those numbers together. Once you add those numbers together, if you happen to have a double digit, you're going to add those two numbers, and then you're going to reduce it down to a single digit. And if that number adds to an 8, your life path is an 8. Which means this is your life path. It's your purpose, your contract to live in abundance, to live in harmony, to have success, to have fame, to be successful, to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. However, do note that there could be things, situations, and childhood traumas that may create chaos and obstacles that may not let you live your 8 life path number, which means you have to do the work to clear and cut the cord so you can live your life path number. And I know that was a mouthful. Now, one thing I also want to note when we talk about the numerology aspects of your personal energy year or your life path number, there are 3 numbers with your life path number that if they are double digits, such as 11, 22, or 33, those numbers remain as they are because they're master numbers. The number 11 is known as the master healer. The number 22 is known as the master builder. The number 33 is known as the master creator or sacrificer. As for the personal energy year, the numbers are 11 or 22. Your personal energy year doesn't go to 33, so no one carries a 33 personal energy year. A life path, yes. If you happen to be blessed to carry a life path number of 33, yeah, I use the word blessed. So anyway, and when you think about the life path number of 33, that's literally the energy of Buddha, Christ, Jesus, that high energy. So your karmic energy would be extremely potent because of that energy that you carry. So anyway, just to give you some insight about this energy and why this full moon is so powerful and why so many people are talking, so many astrologers are talking about this super blue moon in Aquarius and why there's so many rituals out there and opportunities out there for you to work on this energy, because this is not a one-time energy. If you think back to I forget exactly when it was, June and July, there you go, when we had the 2 months where we had both full moons in Capricorn, where it was very different because, I mean, literally, we had 2 moons. We had a moon in June, and then we had a moon in July, both in Capricorn energy. And that energy, those two energies, again, very significant to the energy we're moving into as Pluto backspins into Capricorn. So those two energies and this particular energy we have right now with the moon in Aquarius, those 3 full moons are extremely potent to the energy we're moving into. And we want to remember that once Pluto moves forward again in Aquarius, as of, let me get that note again, as of December 19, where literally Pluto will move forward, we in our lifetime will never experience a Pluto Capricorn energy ever again in our lifetime. The next time Pluto will visit Capricorn will be 248 years from now. We will not be here. That's why this energy is so potent, because Pluto moving in Aquarius as of December 19th. I want to make sure it's December, not November. November 19th. That period of time for the next 20 years, Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. That is one of the reasons why this energy is so potent. This 8 universal energy year, this 8 energy day, and what energy you have in your natal chart in your 8th house are so potent right now to help you navigate through what's going forward. That is why this is so potent. So again, as I'm going to leave you with, and I may pull a card or two just to give you some insight regarding this energy, what one chakra you can work with regarding this powerful energy, is if you need support in regards to navigating through your natal chart, getting a better understanding to what is going on in your 8th house, getting an understanding to what's going on in Aquarius for you, getting an understanding to what's going on in Uranus for you. So, and also in Pluto. These are your big players. And let's not forget Capricorn. Let's not forget Capricorn. These are your big players right now, because these are the energies that's really going to amplify the next 20 years of your life. Pluto moving into Aquarius, known as we call it, the age of Aquarius. It's about community. It's about collaborations. It's about networking. It's about coming together. It's about the we, not the me. We cannot grow by ourselves. We need the support of each other. So it's so important to start finding your collaborating people, your collaborating team to help lift you up. And it's really important. Hello there, Rosie. How are you, my love? It's really important to really start paying attention to the karmic energy you're holding on to and what it's associated with, so you can work on releasing whatever trauma you have experienced from childhood on up. Because this is a part of the karmic reset. Your traumas are related to your karmic reset, just as your weight is related to your karma. So it's so important, as we're in this energy, to use the energy of this full moon to help you really work on releasing. Now, just a quick ritual for you in case you're not familiar how to do a full moon ritual. Whatever it is you're looking to release. So if it is body weight, if there's something that you want to release regarding your body weight, if there's a relationship that you want to work on releasing the karmic energy around that relationship, whatever it is, if it's a money issue, You want to work on releasing poverty issues. You want to write all of this down. On a piece of paper, what I would suggest is take a paper, fold it in half, and on one side of the paper, you're going to write the word release, and on the other side of the paper, you're going to write the word receive. You're going to write down everything you want to release, and that could be one thing you want to release or as many as you want to release. And then on the other side, so whatever you write you want to release, you want to bring something in. So if you're looking to release poverty, then you want to bring in abundance. If you're looking to release the weight that you've been carrying based off trauma, then what you want to do is you want to bring a healthy version of yourself as the thing to bring in. I'm sure by now you get the point, get the examples. So this is the ritual. And once you're done writing your list, you're going to take the paper, fold that paper in half, fold it down again. Let me see if I can pull out a piece of paper for you to show you. As you've written what you've written, pretend I have things on my paper. You're going to fold the paper in half. You're going to fold the paper in half again. You're going to fold the paper in half again, and then again in half. Once that paper is folded, at the edge, if you're comfortable enough, you're going to burn it. If you're not comfortable with burning it, then you're going to shred it, and you're going to let it go. If you're going to burn it, my suggestion would be to take it outside and burn it outside and take whatever ashes you have and take it and put it in the dirt and let it go. If you're shredding it, do not shred it into your garbage can. Take that piece of paper out of your house and go shred it and put that shredded paper in the garbage for the garbage men to take it. You do not want this to be left in your home once it's either been burnt or shredded, because you want to get rid of that energy. You want to get rid of it. Even though you wrote the releasing and the receiving on the same piece of paper, the receiving part is being given to the universe for the universe to give to you when you're in that vibration to receiving. The releasing part, the universe is taking care of it. So that's the ritual of this full moon in Aquarius energy to help you be more aligned to releasing the karmic energy that you have stored and going through this karmic reset. And keeping in mind, again, with all these different planets we do have in retrograde, we have Pluto, we have Mercury, we have Saturn, we have Neptune, we have Chiron. Chiron's a big one because Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's in Aries. So it is about the I am statement. It's about who you are. Now, when you look at your natal chart, that first house is the only house on your entire natal chart that is about you specifically. Has absolutely nothing to do with anybody else. Only you. All of the other houses are about other people and you. But that first house is strictly you. So that Chiron moon collectively in Aries is your I am statement. And whatever your Chiron moon is in, that is the nature of the wound that you have. So for example, with this Aquarian energy, if you happen to have a Chiron moon in Aquarius, this is about letting go of all of the energies associated with not feeling good enough, not being seen, not being wanted, not being worthy, not being accepted, not being wanted, not being able to fit in. Those are all the Aquarius wound, the weirdness. And I forget the exact age for the Aquarian moon. I believe it's somewhere between 60 something, moving into the early 70s. So if you are in that age category, there's a good probability you have your Chiron moon in Aquarius. Now, those of you in my age category, let's see, from 1974, all the way back to 1968, and maybe a year or two before that, that's the Aries Chiron moon. And if you're interested in learning what your Chiron moon is, go and get yourself your natal chart. Your chart will tell you. All right, I want to pull cards just based on, again, I'm not doing a whole 12 card pull. I'm just going to pull a few cards just to give you some insight to how to utilize this energy and what chakra you can work on to clearing whatever you need to clear based on your karmic cycles. So again, we're going to focus right in on the Aquarian energy, this full moon Aquarius energy. What do we need to know for this energy? What chakra do we need to work on so we can clear this energy? This is great. I love it. And I think this card showed up last night. Financial abundance. Financial abundance. So through this full moon, full moon, blue moon in Aquarius, what we're working on is bringing financial abundance in. So we're going to release the karmic energy around not having enough money, poverty, witnessing our parents struggle, or hearing our parents say money doesn't grow on trees. How many of you have ever heard that expression? How many of you have used that expression? If that's an expression you've heard or used, this may be the time to work on clearing out that belief system and letting it go. And can you believe something else? Because this card is letting you know it's time to stop believing that financial abundance is surrounding you. So financial abundance is surrounding you. The chakra is the third eye. So this is really about the vision, which is very much associated with Aquarian energy. That 1-7, which is 8, this comes back again, full circle in reference to what are you here to accomplish? What are you here to achieve? What have you accomplished at this point? And when we talk about this Aquarian energy, it is the vision that you hold. It's the balance, it's the stability, it's working through your dark side. Remember that Scorpio 8th house energy. Scorpio rules the 8th house. Pluto rules the 8th house. This is about letting go of anything that doesn't allow you to be in financial abundance. So that's the Aquarian card. That's what we need to know for this Aquarian moon. Financial abundance is right there for you. You just have to release whatever karmic cycles you have around money. And that could be a big one for many of us, because reality of it all is if you do have a money issue that may be blocking you from having the things that you wish to have in your life. When you feel restricted or limited on what you can spend your money on, or thinking that, oh my God, I can't do this because I have to budget myself. As long as you have that mindset, and this is something that works around your belief system. Can you believe something other than what you already believe? Because it's about changing your mind. And that's, in order to have financial abundance, you have to work on changing your mind. And taking action as though you have financial abundance. All right. What do we need to know regarding Pluto backspinning into Capricorn? Oops. I'm going to do that again because there were too many cards that popped out. All right, here's our card. I'm telling you, I shook the cards up. And this happened the other night too, and I'm going to show it. So what do we need to know with Pluto backspinning into Capricorn? Again, financial abundance. Financial abundance. Same concept. That 8 energy is that this is your birthright. This is your birthright. So when we talk about Pluto backspinning into Capricorn, Capricorn is your work, your soul's work. So if you have a materialistic job that you're keeping because it helps you to pay your materialistic bills, or it's giving you health insurance, or it allows you to have so many days off or whatever not, that job may not be aligned to you, which means you may have to let go of that job so you can find something that serves your soul's purpose so you can have financial abundance. And I'm going to pull another card for the Pluto Capricorn because, again, I just find it so funny on how that card constantly keeps popping out. And this is the second time that's happened when doing a live. So what do we need to know again for our Pluto Capricorn energy? Healing. Healing. Perfect. Healing. Now, what does healing mean for you? So when we think about that, and we spoke about that in yesterday's message because this card showed up yesterday. Number 6, when we talk about 6 is about healing and nurturing yourself. Taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions. Because it's your emotions that if we don't work on healing the emotions then will show up in your tissues. So as I like to say, The issues in your tissues. Work on releasing the issues in your tissues so they don't show up anymore. And the pink energy is about dropping down into your heart so you have more compassion for yourself while you're going through this karmic energy and karmic completion. What do we know? What do we need to know for the remaining portion of 2024 in this 8 universal energy year? This will be the last card. One more shuffle. Love it. Marriage. Now, when we talk about marriage in this conversation, a couple of things come up. First thing you want to do is if you are married, if you have a significant other, this is a perfect time during this full moon, during this 8 energy year to sit down with your partner and have a conversation and discuss with each other what's working in your marriage and what's not working. If there are things that's not working in your marriage, this is the time to work on letting those things go so you can bring in newness to your marriage. It's like having that anniversary. So that's what you want to do. So if you have a significant other, whether you're legally married or not, it's a perfect time to sit and have a conversation and let go of the things that don't serve your marriage. Second part to this card is what are you married to? Habits, beliefs, philosophies, and all the programming and conditioning that you have been programmed to believe. This is time to let it go. This is your karmic energy year. This is one of the processes that's very much underlining my purpose and my mission that I've been talking about this entire year is about revolutionizing your health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescription plan. What we have been taught for the last, over 50 years I've been on this earth about our health, about nutrition, about our wellness. We need to change that. We need to become advocates for ourselves, and we need to learn how to tap into our intuition so we can become more intuitive to what it is our bodies really need. So maybe working on letting go of some of those belief systems that we have been programmed to believe that no longer align to us. The chakra here is the crown, so this is really about tapping into your higher consciousness. This is about really taking in that wisdom. The numbers 8 so perfectly align with the energy we're in, bringing us full circle, our karmic reset. The double 8 is reminded that when you take those two numbers, you add it together, it adds to a 16 and then reduces down to a 7. The 7 is literally about the work you're here to do, going within, meditating, praying, connecting with your higher self, connecting with spirit, having these conversations so you can bring things back into balance when it comes to your contracts. As said earlier, every person in your life, every place that you go to, are there for a season, reason, or lifetime. Everything is a lesson. And this is your opportunity to really work on clearing those lessons, clearing those karmic contracts, clearing the trauma, and allowing yourself to make a new space for this new energy to come through. Making a note that as we are in 2024, as we already know, it's an 8 energy universal year. When we move into 2025, I want you to write this number down. Add those numbers up. We move into a 9 energy year. That means 2025 will be an entire year for us to review the last 9 years of our lives. I'm going to leave it there, and I will definitely come back and have a conversation about 2025 as we get closer. If you have comments or questions, feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. If you have not shared this live out, please share it out now. Do me that honor of sharing this out. Let your friends know all about this. If I can support you in any way, please reach out to let me know this. And I will do all I can to support you on this journey. If you would like to get a reading to know exactly what's going on in your 8th house, I have readings on a special right now. Feel free to email to find out more about that. And I'll be more than happy to getting on my calendar and helping you navigate through this amazing energy that we're in. I thank you all so much for being with me tonight. And again, as always, I appreciate your time because I know that you could definitely be doing something else between this hour that you and I come together. So I appreciate you, and I do look forward to coming back and sharing more wisdom with you. And until we meet again on the other side, have an amazing and blessed night or day wherever you are in the world. And have a blessed night, everyone. Nighty night.